Hello folks, and welcome back to Whiskey Wars. My name is Sean, and tonight we got another bottle review for you. Tonight we're gonna get into Michter's small batch. Let's talk about it. Okay, here's our bottle for this evening, Michter's small batch. And this is definitely a batch product, as in you can taste the difference between the batches. This batch I currently have is good, but not exceptional. I've had batches in the past that were really, really great. And so there is some variance, but with that in mind, let's talk about this current one. So Michter's, as you may know, does low entry proofs into their barrels, which I think is a great idea because that means that they're adding water ahead of time, and so then the water takes in some of that barrel presence, which then adds flavor to your end product instead of just adding straight water at the end that has no barrel presence within it. So yeah, good on Michter's for doing that. Keep doing that, and I hope that more companies that like to proof down start doing the same. That way we get a better end product. And I think Michter's is a pretty good product. So let's talk about why. Let's get into this nose first of all. Now this is 91.4 proof. Odd proof point, but so an acceptable proof, especially when you consider that they are having a low entry proof to start. So not as much water added at the end, which we appreciate. So, nose. Now, this is a source product as well, and most of us know where it's sourced from. Where most things are sourced from. Yeah, we know the thing. And so you're getting some of those notes that you would find from that, sourced place that sources things for sourcing. So there's like that kind of fruit stripe gum, which I find a lot on those kind of bourbons. So that's happening, as well as a really nice caramel. This kind of rich, almost like caramel apple note. Very appley, very fruity on the nose. Nice brown sugars, but like a true brown sugar coming through here. I mean, we say brown sugar a lot in the bourbon world, but this is just a real, if you opened a bag of brown sugar, it's right there in your face. Anyway, let's get into this tasting here. Here we go, first sip down. Michter's just does a phenomenal job with low proof whiskey. And this is, right around the 90 proof point, which typically would not excite me a whole lot. But I think that low entry point into barrel really helps bring out a whole lot more flavor into this 90 proof bourbon. And when you're comparing other 90 proofers side by side to, say, a Michter's, you really notice that you get a lot more pop, bolder flavors, and not like in a spicy way, just the flavors are more present on the palate. They really come across very nice and true and rich. And it's still fairly mouth coating for a 90 proofer, which is hard to find a lot of times. So it's not real watery. So you got your, and it's very quintessential bourbon. So caramel, brown sugar, vanilla, toasty oaks, which is things you would expect to find in any bourbon, obviously. But the way that it comes across in Michter's is so much richer than your typical 90 proof that it's very enjoyable. Also, you get kind of that nice apple note. There is that kind of fruit stripe gum thing going on, which is great. I always love that kind of bubble gum fruit stripe thing going on. Yeah, and it's just a pleasant sip. Let's go one more sip and talk about that finish, though. That finish is just like light caramel drizzled over apples and cherries. It's just like a fruity dessert. It's just great. I love this bottle. I don't typically lean towards sub 100 proof bourbons very often, but this is such a good one. These are right around the $40 to $45 price point, and I think it's worth every bit of that because Michter's does such a nice job with providing a really nice experience at a low proof. So good on Michter's. Now though, to rating this bottle. So it is, as I just said, in the $40 to $45 range. So is it above average? I think absolutely, especially if you're after a low proofer. You know, we don't always want barrel proofs or high proof whiskey. Sometimes you want something that you can just kind of relax with. And I think this is a great option for that. I'm going to give Michter Small Batch a score of 8.3. I think this is a great, great bourbon. If you haven't tried it, certainly go out and get one for yourself, especially if you are the kind of person that likes whiskey that's a little more chill and relaxed. I think you'll find yourself coming back to this many, many times. Folks, if you haven't yet, then please hit that like button. We appreciate that. Also, here's other reviews from us right here. And here's the subscribe button, so please do that. And until next time, folks, just remember, you can never have too much good whiskey.